3. Invention of an aeroplane. Initial task. Have you ever traveled by an aeroplane? What can we see from an aeroplane's window? There was a time when people could never dream of flying in the air like a bird. But it is all reality today. You can fly to any part of the world in no time. The aeroplane has become the easiest mode of transport. Read the story of Aeroplane and know how Wright brothers invented the first aeroplane. Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright created history when they invented the first aeroplane. They designed their first aircraft, which was a small glider that flew as a kite. They slightly arched the tips of the glider wings to control its balance and movement. To get better idea, the Wright brothers spent hours observing birds in the sky. They noticed how birds soar up in wind and the curved surface of their wings helps them move up. Birds changed the shape and flapped their wings to turn and control their speed. Wright brothers thought that they could use this method and change the shape of the wings of the glider to fly it successfully. Over the next 3 years, the Wright brothers designed many gliders that were flown unmanned or without pilots. They realized that a good control of the flying aircraft was the most difficult problem, but they were not afraid of failure. After a successful glider test, they built and tested a big full-sized glider at Kitty Hawk in North Carolina. The place was suitable because of its wind, sandy soil, hills, and remote location. In 1900, they were successful in flying a big 50-pound glider with 17-foot wingspan at Kitty Hawk again, both as unmanned and piloted flights. In fact, it was the first glider having a pilot. They decided to build a bigger and better glider. Their thrill and excitement could not be expressed in words. In 1901, the Wright brothers flew the biggest glider ever flown. It weighed 100 pounds, but many problems occurred. The wings could not lift high enough, and sometimes the aeroplane spun out of control. They were extremely disappointed, but soon they overcame it. The love for adventure helped them move on. Later, they decided to build a new and improved glider with a tail to make it stable and a wingspan of 32 feet. In 1902, the Wright brothers flew the glider many times. The movable tails of the glider helped to balance the craft. They were happy to be successful. Next, they decided to build a motor powered aircraft. They designed a motor and a new aircraft. The aircraft weighed 700 pounds and was called the Flyer. The brothers built a downhill track to launch the Flyer. This helped the aircraft to gain a good airspeed to fly. After two attempts to fly the machine, one of which was almost a small crash, Orwell Wright took the flyer for a 12-second flight on 17 December 1903. It was the first successful powered flight in history. In 1904, the flight lasted more than 5 minutes. The flyer was blown by Wilbur Wright. Vocabulary: glider, a light aircraft designed to fly without using an engine. Soared, rose high in the air. Surface, the outside or uppermost part of something. Flapped, moved up and down when flying. Unmanned, not having a pilot. Remote, far away. Wingspan, the distance between the ends of the wings of a bird. Piloted, operated by a pilot. Spin, turned round and round quickly. Downhill track, path that leads down from the top of the hill. Grammatical structure: plural forms of noun. The words that indicate two or more people, places, things, or ideas are called plural nouns. We add s or es with the singular noun to make a plural noun. For example, bird, birds; bush, bushes. Write the plurals. Countable and uncountable nouns. Common nouns can be further divided into two: 1. Countable nouns; 2. Uncountable nouns. 1. Some nouns can be counted. These are called countable nouns. Example: boy, boys; girl, girls. 2. Some nouns cannot be counted. These are called uncounted nouns. These do not have a plural form. We cannot add s or es to make them plural. Example: milk, coffee, water, oil. Identify the countable and uncountable nouns and put them in the correct column. When countable nouns end with y, we add ies to them after replacing y. Example: city, cities; body, bodies. Add s or ies to the following countable nouns to make their plural form. Let's listen. Listen to your teacher saying a few words. Quickly frame sentences on each and say them aloud. 1. History. 2. Movement. 3. Surface. 4. Control. 5. flyer